welcome! I am Zombie Kitty and welcome to another reaction video. So, we're going to continue on with the MD-PTV series. So this was the Fnaf VHS series that I was doing. We're up to season 2. So the last video that I did, hi fan, the last video that I did was on Agent Crane's videos. So he was the one who helped Michael escape the facility that he was in and that this series is set in. So the next set of videos we're going to look at is the Golden Freddy videos. I will just say very quickly, I do have builders outside, literally right outside my window. Well, not outside my window, but outside my house, like quite near. So I do apologise if you can hear like banging or sawing or drilling or anything. I do apologise for that, but you know, nothing I can do about it. So I just thought I'd bring that up in case you do hear that. But yeah, let's go. Golden Freddy manifestation. Okay. And I might pause and play and stuff. Yeah, so I might have to pause this. So on the date of blah, what has been recorded and described is that of a golden Freddy Fazbear animatronic bear, thus named in Foundation logs as Golden Freddy, appeared within the facility. The entity materialised within Storage Unit 8. It's unknown how it was able to do this. Security footage captures a flash of light along with electromagnetic background radiation flooding the room upon first entrance. Okay. Affecting all active local electronics. The storage room contained items which were previously placed within Michael Afton's chamber. One of the items was a radio. The radio in storage appears to start playing an unknown lullaby. Could this be the same lullaby described by Michael? Ah, okay. So when we watched the last videos, I think they mentioned that they were picking up a signal that Michael kept saying he could hear. And it turned out that they think that Henry Emily is the one emitting that signal to call all of the animatronics together into one building, aka like Ptv'S simulator. So I'm guessing Golden Freddy, it came from Golden Freddy originally, so Henry maybe put the lullaby into Golden Freddy, and yeah, as a way to like continue his plan. That's my guess anyway. Theories are being put in place that this entity somehow teleported into the chamber through their own means or external means. Okay, that makes sense because Golden Freddy does just teleport into the game and manifest into the game, so that makes sense. It is unknown why this entity has placed itself within the Foundation. Theories are being put in place that the entity is here of its own free will and perhaps is looking for something. Further research is to come. Maybe looking for Michael?
Hello, my name is Agent Dennis Crane. I will be your regular interviewer.
Oh, Agent Crane's back. So, because he's on the run at the moment in the present time.
You have certainly put us in a interesting and confusing situation.
So this must have been in the past.
But anyways, let's begin.
Okay.
Do you have a name? Okay. Can you explain how you manifested here? How exactly did you do that? Where did you come from? What do you want?
Ooh!
I think we're gonna put this on hold for now.
Okay. So it started playing the lullaby. On the date of blah, an interview was hosted between the entity Golden Freddy and Agent Crane. Yeah, so this must be in the past, because at the present time, Agent Crane is on the run after he helped Michael escape. So this must have been in the past. Overall, it was similar to our first interview with William Afton, aka Springtrap. The entity is silent and cannot or will not answer any of our questions. Yeah, so the first interview with Springtrap was kind of the same, where he was giving them the silent treatment. However, after the question of what do you want was issued, there was an immediate reaction. The entity started to vibrate and contort itself slightly, while emitting low-level electromagnetic radiation affecting the lights and the active radio in the room. The radio once again played an unknown lullaby the same lullaby which was played when the entity first arrived in the chamber. So, yeah, because I think that might be the same one that Michael keeps saying that he heard. So maybe he was hearing Golden Freddy. So I don't know if Golden Freddy is maybe looking for Michael. Foundation staff curious about the state of its robotic frame within, saying it has a different appearance to the frame seen within Springtrap at a far glance, as if it's open and spread apart. Let's pause. Theories are still being built as to why this entity has appeared within Foundation grounds. Although with concepts of how it managed to teleport / materialise within the facility. Teleportation is... Sorry, I'm finding this very difficult to read because it's really blurry. Teleportation is currently impossible with modern technology and is considered science fiction. Well, you know, say hi to Golden Freddy. That's about to become non-fiction. Higher-ups are wanting answers, or perhaps even a disassembly of this animatronic to learn or gain its teleportation abilities, which could highly benefit today's world. Yeah, typical humans always wanted to take everything that they see or discover. This is currently of great discussion here at the Foundation. Communication with this entity is of main priority before taking drastic actions. Yeah, because I guess they don't know if it's hostile or not. Like, they don't know if it's hostile or if it's okay. So, they're not really sure what to do with it at the moment.
MD Golden Freddy, Springlock Assessment PowerPoint Presentation.
Okay.
The MD Foundation, ensuring a safe future.
Right, I just smacked my
Golden
hand on the
Freddy
desk.
assessment. Upon the arrival of entity Golden Freddy, various questions have been put in place. Though the entity would appear to be stationary and has no visual signs of consciousness, Foundation research team have come to the conclusion that this entity does in fact have a conscious mind and is simply waiting or scanning their surroundings. The entity would appear to give off a very low level of electromagnetic background radiation, which varies from 2 to 9 rem, to which has also been recorded to hitting levels of 300 rem upon an inactive teleported state. It is of a paranormal matter that this level of radiation is being emitted from this entity. Research team theorized that the radiation is caused due to drastic tears in space-time fabric. It is still unknown how this entity manifested and materialized within
Yeah,
the
it's interesting we're
Foundation
kind of
facility.
getting into like science
Golden
fiction with
Freddy's
this as
Springlock.
well.
Upon further
It's pretty cool.
investigation of this entity, tests have proven that the Golden Fredbear has no hostile intent or any visual signs of movement. The entity so far has had no problems with Foundation staff entering a close range.
Okay, because that's what I
Upon
wasn't
detailed
sure
investigation,
of whether they
first
thought it was
samples were
hostile or
taken,
not.
radiation levels were scanned,
Or like, okay.
conscious eye movement tests were assessed, and a detailed investigation into the entity's endoskeleton were put in place.
Okay.
The entity
Ooh.
in question would appear to have an endoskeleton very similar to the one within William Afton's entity Springtrap. However, the main difference is that the metallic structure within Golden Freddy would appear to be sprung open. It is theorized that this endoskeleton is
Yeah,
one of
'cause
a
obviously I
Springlock
think-
design. Springlock
Yeah, because it's
suits.
Fredbear and Spring
Since most
Bonnie were like the
information
first
regarding William
ones.
Afton's creations and designs are hidden away or, if not destroyed, due to time and detailed planning on his behalf. Springlock suits are something we must theorize on. Currently, as it
Yeah,
stands, Springlock
because
suits
Fredbear
appear
and
to have a
Springtrap were
robotic
like the
locking and
first
switching
Springlock
ability.
suits.
The suit can switch from a robotic-controlled station to a human-controlled station, allowing the robotic parts to pull and spread apart using springlocks, which then make room to allow a humanoid user to slide within.
Yeah.
Evidence suggests that springlocks can fail dramatically due to their very impractical and dangerous design, with enough strength to crush bone and tear muscle, thus explaining the violent accident revolving around William Afton's death. Negotiation.
Yeah, so you've got details
A
now
lot
of
like
how
the
he died.
situation revolving around Ennard, we have the ability to negotiate with this entity, offering a service to fix their robotic frame. In return, questions will be answered. Though this is a risky service and could
Yeah.
potentially be giving dangerous entities the ability to fight back, there is currently no means of appeasing their needs without compromise.
Okay.
In the next interview with Golden Freddy, Agent Crane will be assigned with the task of making the situation apparent. Current negotiations regarding Ennard are running on a lie. The Foundation has no intentions of supplying Ennard with any kind of human remains. Though synthetic skin was researched, the technology of our time limits our abilities. Interviews with Ennard will continue with the facade that they will be supplied with such material. It is of a high priority that Ennard does not discover this fact.
Okay, we haven't done Ennard's videos yet, but I think he probably will find out, and he's not going to be very happy with that. But yeah, we haven't done the Ennard videos yet.
Hello again. My name
Hello?
is Agent Dennis Crane.
Okay.
I'm recording. It's been a few weeks since our last interview. Now, before I get into asking questions, myself and many of the research team here believe a negotiation or trade could be put in place. Recently, we did an assessment of your physical structure. I'm not sure if you personally allowed us to assess you or if you were in some kind of sleep state, but we feel like we can help each other. The research team, upon assessment, discovered that the metallic frame or endoskeleton within your casing appears to be, how do I say it, spread open, spread apart. With prior experience with this type of technology, a lot of us believe that we could close this up, which will give you motorability, meaning you can move. All we ask in return is answers to our... Okay.
Oh my god, that made me jump.
Thank you.
Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me.
Too soon? Okay.
Yeah, not yet.
Where did you come from? Where are you from? Hell. Do you have a specific location? How did you manifest here? You literally materialized out of thin air. Why are you here? Afton.
Ah.
Okay. William Afton. Yes.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense as well.
Hell. What do you mean by that?
Take a wild guess.
As in revenge?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, William isn't here. He broke out quite some time ago now. We are still looking for him. I know. How could you know that? If we act like prey, they'll act like predators. I wait. And like a treadmill, his inevitable destination is me. You have a plan? When we asked you what it was you wanted...
Okay, interesting. Also, I just noticed that Freddy's head is actually up right now. I didn't notice that before.
By any chance, do you think this signal is pulling you, metaphorically or even physically, to a specific location? Yes.
Yeah. So this is the Henry Emily signal.
The end of what? The end of this hell for some of us.
Yeah.
For a while now, we have been trying to track down, or attempt to track down, a signal similar to the one...
So this is just Pizzeria Simulator, that's what it's like getting to, basically. By the end of that.
Michael Afton. Does that name mean something to you? The son of William Afton, Michael Afton. I have not heard that name in a long time. How do you know him? Irrelevant. When was the last time you saw him? Irrelevant. Then what's your relationship with him? He was close. Irrelevant. Okay. I'll end this interview here.
Okay, interesting.
However, I'll get back to you soon with more questions. there is a lot we need to go through.
Okay, I just want to pause before the next interview because that's interesting. So I forgot that. I'm trying to remember my lore. Is it Golden Freddy has the crying child in it? And then there's something to do with Cassidy as well. But I think Golden Freddy has the crying child in it because Michael was the one who obviously pushed his little brother into the mouth of the animatronic and jumped down. But that would be why Golden Freddy doesn't want to talk about Michael. Like, it started to... Like, he was saying, oh, do you know him? Like, how do you know him? And blah, blah, blah. And he kept going, irrelevant. Like, he doesn't want to talk about Michael. Because, obviously, Michael was the one who hurt him a lot. So, it would make sense that Golden Freddy wouldn't want to talk about him. Yeah, I didn't really notice the... Golden Freddy has started to move. Like, he's got upright now. Because he was sort of crooked down here for a while. And I didn't notice that he'd gone upright. Oh, that's so cool, though. Yeah, this one's interesting. So it is kind of leading to the Pizzeria Simulator ending, essentially. Which is what I kind of predicted with the last reaction video we did on this. Once they mentioned Henry Emily, I was like, okay, I know where this is leading to. He's trying to call them all to one location and then burn it down, basically. But it's interesting that Golden Freddy knows that. The Golden Freddy knows they're being pulled to a location. He knows that that's how they're going to be free to rest. Pardon me. He knows that that's how they're going to be free to rest. But he said for some of us. So he knows that William isn't going to rest. So he knows a lot more than he's letting on, which is interesting.
Again, starting recording. Agent Dennis Crane commencing interview 3. It's been but a short while since...
This is quite a long one, so I'm interested to know what this is going to be like.
A lot of light on the situation. So,
okay.
Freddy, is it okay if I call you that?
Okay.
Freddy, since our last interview, new information has surfaced. You probably don't know this, but there are a lot of missing cases surrounding William Afton, specifically cases including children.
Irrelevant information.
Irrelevant?
They have not missing. For them to be missing would imply that they can be located.
No, they're dead.
They cannot, as they no longer exist.
I don't understand.
Upon mixing two drinks, the original drink is now contorted. Different remnants of the original remain, but not enough to count as the original.
Oh, I see.
Okay, well...
Yeah, okay.
So far we have discovered 4 other animatronics that we believe to be directly connected to...
Okay, I was really
children.
confused, but now I get it.
There is no easy way to say this, but evidence supports that these animatronics are the missing children, and that they have somehow had their minds, personalities, or souls trapped within these robotic designs. I'm sorry to say this, but it's likely you also fit in this scenario.
I remember everything. I know who I am, who I was.
So...
What are you?
Also a victim. What do you remember of your life before this?
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant? How is your human life irrelevant?
It's irrelevant to what you're asking.
I'm sorry. Truly. Freddy, what is your earliest memory that you can recall while being in this animatronic?
Darkness. And the voice.
Okay.
William Afton. Okay. What was the last thing you remember before waking up within this animatronic?
Mouth.
The
Yeah.
mouth? What do you mean, the human mouth? An animal?
No.
Freddy.
As in the same animatronic that you are currently...
Yes.
I see.
Yep.
This is Very interesting. By any chance, does the year 1983 mean anything to you? Does the name Michael Afton mean anything to you?
Irrelevant.
Yeah, he doesn't
In
want
our
to talk about
previous
Michael,
interview, you reacted
which
to
is
that.
interesting.
You said he was, in a matter of sense, kin. That's another word for relatives. Brother, sister. Was Michael your brother? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to answer that
I
now.
do this, but in the year 1983, there was an accident that led to a child being
Oh,
put into
here
a
we
coma
go.
and then later death. This was William Afton's youngest son.
This conversation.
His son was brutally and severely
Nope, you gotta
injured
keep
by
going.
the animatronics due to a prank gone wrong, including his own brother, Michael Afton, and friends. For the remainder of that boy's life, he lied on a hospital
Oh
bed
my
with
God.
horrifying brain activity that highly suggested that the boy was being tormented and perhaps even tortured by their own subconscious as their mind collapsed.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear this.
While his father could do nothing but sit with him and cry. Who are you? What was your name?
So he does know.
You said you remembered everything.
Yeah,
You
that's why he
remembered your
doesn't want to
name.
bring it up.
If we get your name, it could help us a lot. I apologize if this is bringing up bad memories, but a name would...
I am dead. That is who I am, and that is all I'll ever be. Now, torture, waiting to be unleashed on those who are broken enough to destroy the lives of innocent. This is not a place of honor, not a place of love or respect, but a place of senseless brutality and hopeless hate and evil.
Wow.
Okay, I'll stop you.
Jeez. Okay, hang on. No, wait. No. There was a lot in there. So yeah, so it makes sense that if they're not going to answer, then Dennis has to kind of say, okay, we already know. Time for you to start talking a bit more. But obviously, Golden Freddy, aka the oh my god, I can't speak. AKA the crying child doesn't want to talk about it. Which would make a lot of sense. Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about is at one point Dennis says, oh, there's been missing cases again, there's been missing kids again, and we still haven't found Springtrap. And Freddy obviously is like, no, they're not missing, because that means they can be located. Which obviously, you know, William's a child murderer, they're dead. But what was interesting is that Freddy started talking about, oh, if you mix two drinks together, it won't, and you contort it, it won't be the same as the original. And I got really confused on what he meant by that first. But then what he's basically saying is William is killing new kids to create new remnant, but it won't be the same as the original remnant that he had that keeps him immortal. So he's trying to do the same thing again, but it's not going to work as well this time because it's not the same thing. Like, it's not the original remnant, so it's not going to work as well as the last time. So I didn't really get that at first, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense now. Okay, that was really interesting though. But yeah, it's basically leading up to Pizzeria Simulator ending, which I think is really interesting.
MD Golden Freddy interview findings. PowerPoint presentation.
I think this is the last Golden Freddy
the
video,
MD
actually.
Foundation, ensuring a safe future. Golden Freddy.
Why did that
findings.
sound sad compared to
On
the
the
previous
day of-
voices?
An interview hosted by Agent Dennis Crane was initiated with Golden Freddy.
Okay,
The interview in question was going as expected.
except...
The animatronic was responding as promised in the previous negotiation to create answers. However, Agent Crane was given the task of informing the animatronic of the recent findings given via an interview with the entity Enid. The findings in question were that of the missing children. and how it is likely that the animatronics are haunted, possessed, or simply are what is left of the missing children. Golden Freddy responded in a manner that dictates he already knew all of this, and has full memory of his life before the end of his human life. The entity treated this in a very enclosed manner, and would give 1 to 2 word replies or no response at all.
Okay.
As for the response gained so far from interview 2, leading into interview 3, it is heavily theorized that Golden Freddy's consciousness is that of William Afton's youngest deceased son, and also
So you
Michael
did find
Afton's
out
brother.
who it was.
These theories were put in place after Freddy's reaction to the name Michael Afton, and led on to call Michael his kin in a somewhat emotional manner, implying that they are family. Overall, it would appear that something highly traumatizing has occurred in their past, making any topics related to the era difficult to discuss. Golden Freddy appears to have some kind of plan in mind leading towards William Afton, associating anything that is not related as unrelated. Due to these findings, Agent Crane was forcefully instructed to apply pressure to the interview in order to gain answers, or perhaps to break the entity into talking. The pressure was specifically to be added if the entity refused to comment on certain important details, mainly details involving the Afton family. The pressure in question is that of a description of the events occurring around William Afton's son, the tragic events of 1983. Upon reading this description to the entity, it began reacting in a childlike manner, as if a tantrum was building.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually.
Along with this, it began to emit electromagnetic interference, affecting the electronics in the general area. After the tantrum was over, the electromagnetic interference began to fade, and the entity was quiet, and once again, refusing to answer important details and would simply not give a name, but replied by calling itself a representation of death, along with a large range of odd phrases, which to us signifies that the entity plans to inflict torture onto William Afton due to previous backing evidence. One detail to the Foundation I've noticed is that both Ballora Ennard and Golden Freddy both talk in riddles, and will twist their words in complicated ways. Since both Ballora and Golden Freddy can both remember their past lives, it is theorized that this is connected, and talk this way as a strange means of coping. However, explaining how these missing children have aged mentally with an estimated range of perhaps 10 to 20 years is also of great discussion. Some of the research team believe that there is a chance that the children who hold these devices are still aging mentally. However, it is also likely that the software and robotic coding has made some kind of impact
That's
on
quite
their
interesting
minds.
that they've answered that
Overall,
as well.
this is a new area that the Foundation are exploring.
Or like focused
so most
on that
theories
too.
are currently just theories until solid evidence is put forward. Further investigation is to come.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting that they've brought that up as well. It's like, oh, they're supposed to be little children, but yet they're thinking and talking like adults, which is interesting. So that was the last video on the Golden Freddy videos. Really, really interesting, but it kind of backs up what I was sort of speculated in the last reaction video we did. So yeah, it's all leading up to Henry leading them all to one location and then burning it, aka Pizzeria Simulator ending. I don't really have too much else to say. I feel like a lot of it kind of speaks for itself. This one was more sort of going back through, I guess, things that we already know within the Fnaf canon. It's interesting that they did end up finding who the kid's name was though, and who the kid was. And I did really like that they sort of focused in on, like, okay, like I've already said, like, they're kids in animatronics, but why are they talking like adults and thinking like adults? Again, other characters have been mentioned, so Ennard and Ballora were mentioned at the end. And obviously we haven't done the Ennard videos yet, so there is going to be some sort of crossover occasionally with these videos. But yeah, this was really interesting actually. And I like the idea of when Golden Freddy like teleports into places, like it sets off like an electromagnetic radiation spill, which I think is really, really interesting. And it can create some really interesting visuals, like when Golden Freddy had a bit of a tantrum at the end there, and it caused the blackout. That was really scary, but I like that it was described as like a childlike temper tantrum, which it probably was, to be honest. Again, you got to remember that these are children locked in the animatronics, so, or possessing the animatronics. Like, it would make a lot of sense if it was like a childlike temper tantrum, just in a terrifying bear robot. But this was the Golden Freddy interview videos. This is part of MD-PTV's Fnaf VHS series. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I really like this series. I think it's really interesting. And again, I've mentioned this before, but I really hope they do a season 3, because I'd be very interested to know where that's going to go. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!